Alright, so one thing we did notice about the Anovos and the RS is the legs are completely different. Their shins are not even close. One thing I noticed, it's very hard. When I put together ATA, Affordable Trooper Armor, I'm guessing this is the left one. I don't really know the numbers, but just by me looking at it and doing different armors, this to me looks like the left. It's supposed to gradually swoop here, which it does, but the only thing that's perplexing me is this is supposed to go in quite a bit more. It's not. But this one goes a lot more than this one. So this one's going to be the inner one for the left side. On the right side, so this one, you can see it swoops in more here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is the inner one, in my opinion. This is the outer one. It's only supposed to swoop just more here and less here. So this is the outer for the right, this is the inner for the right. Could be wrong though. 28 and 25 for the right. 24 and 27 for the left, in my opinion. But I still don't like this inner one. It's not swooping enough for me. One thing I noticed on the RS, so I went to put them together the same way that I do with all the other armors. This is the left side. So if you look, the left side swoops in more, comes in more here, comes in more out here, goes in gradually right here. So this is the left outer, left inner. Same thing with this side, when you put them together. It swoops in more here, pops out, goes in just a little bit. Only thing I didn't like was the inside. The inside doesn't quite swoop in enough. But when I started putting them together, one thing I noticed, if you look at right here and right here, look at here and here, they're the same. So when I put them together, they're the exact same leg. Same thing, I looked at this one and seen how it looked down here, put them together, and they're the exact same leg. So that's kind of weird, because on the ATA, the left or the right outer, it actually goes down a little bit longer. It goes down and it has like a funny looking, it doesn't do this, it comes out and it kind of goes in and it comes out. So it's a little bit different. So I don't know if this was another lost piece and they just had to sculpt it and they decided to just sculpt the legs, you know, use them both the same, because they're still going to look good. They're not going to look funny. Like, for instance, AP, Authentic Prop Armor, very beginning with the first one I got, the legs did not want to fit together at all. They made a new mold, so supposedly the legs fit a lot better. But these will work. This will work for the left, and the other one will work for the right. It's not going to kink out on you. So now the last piece are the thighs. So I'll go ahead and get Anovos on this side, RS on this side. So one thing a lot of the armors failed to do was make this notch on the top. So we have a notch here. This is Anovos. And then if you look at RS, it has that same exact notch. A lot of the other armors don't have this notch. And if you put them together, they line up, they sit on each other perfectly. So these two are very similar armor. When you put these together, they should probably line up too. So it's just a tiny bit different. Check these two real quick. Oops. these two fit together. These two are definitely different. So it lines up good here, and then once you get to this point, it's a little bit shorter. The RS is shorter than the Anovos. The Anovos comes up more to a point. Same thing on this side. Bring them together, it doesn't fit on there perfectly, no matter if I push it in. If I push it in where this side and this side fit, then it pops it out right here. On the bottom, they don't even line up on the bottom either. They're off on the bottom. So, these two, they're very similar except for this one piece. Again, just like the other pieces that didn't quite fit together, it could be that it's a lot thinner material and it could have just, the heat could have warped it a little bit. But other than that, and this piece right here, this one fits very similar. This one is identical. This side's identical. It's just these two inner pieces right here, just off just a little bit. Put them together though. Comes together nicely. And there's supposed to be a point at the back. So with this armor, just like what I was telling you with the other armor, it has a ridge in the front. There's the ridge. Come to the back, there's no ridge at all. Because that way you can make it big, or you can shrink it down and make it smaller, depending on how your thigh, how big your thigh is. But this is the right side. So now, and that was RS. This is the left side. So on the outside of the left thigh, if you look at any stormtroopers, you're going to see that notch. So again, there's a ridge in the front, there's a ridge in the both sides, there's no ridge whatsoever in the back. So that you can make it as thick or thin as you want. But both pieces do have that notch right here. You can see the notch. My ATA does not have this notch. You have to make it yourself if you want to be accurate. So we put this together. This is not the right one. The wrong one. There we go. Much better. So there's the ridge, there's the ridge. And these, on the legs it's going to be 10 in, on the arms it's going to be 7.5. If you look in the back, other than, don't mistake this as a ridge, especially on the other parts, it's just a cut line. But this cut line, you don't have to cut there. Again, you're making it as big as you are. Once you have the front done where it needs to be, screen accurate, the back can go in or it can stay big. That was the right side. This is the left side. So just like the RS, when you put them together, you have that ridge right here. No other armor has it other than RS and Anovos. So you have the ridge in the front. Here's a ridge. Here's a ridge. You're going to go 10 in on both and cut off all this excess. In the back, there's no ridge. None whatsoever other than the cut line. So this is the left side. So it's pretty cool that some parts of the outer part are exact, but the inner parts are not. Well, other than that, most of the armor is very similar.
Go for it.
Alright, in summary, in my opinion, for the price, if you're going to buy one and you got to wait and the shipping and handling, the Anovos you do have to wait a while. The Anovos, in my opinion, is better because of the price, and I like the details. I do like the RS. I don't really like the helmet. I don't really like the all the bumps and whatnot in it. I don't like it. I like the clean look. I like the shiny look. RS gives you a lot more, gives you a lot better. It's more expensive, but there's also a second package coming, and that has everything you'll need. If I'm not mistaken, it has the boots, the belts, the split rivets, the snaps, the elastic, the holster, the neck seal, the rubber gloves with latex hand plates. So it has the whole complete kit. So it is more of a bargain. It's still a little bit more, priced more, but their product is definitely a lot better than that bag that I threw in the box that I'm not going to use. They shouldn't have even included that, because a lot of that stuff is it's garbage.
Yeah, but how much is what would you say the cost on the rivets and everything? That stuff you wouldn't use for Anovos?
I buy rivets by the hundreds, so every kit that I'm doing, I'm still spending less than what you would get a RS kit for the kits that I build. I mean, I'm sorry, the Anovos. Plus, they give you very little. If you're a bigger guy, you cannot use these strips.
That's Anovos.
Anovos to fit in the side gaps. RS, this is more than enough. You will probably never use all of these strips. You could use this for inner and outer if you wanted to. This one, these are only good for outer. Price-wise though, that's the difference, is that you're getting better bang for your buck. A lot of the stuff in the Anovos you're not going to use. The only thing I'm going to use, I'm going to tear that helmet totally down, and I'm getting rid of all the elastic and all the Velcro in there. I'm not using any of their elastic, none of their Velcro. So the only thing I'm using, and I'm not going to use their neck seal, their undersuit, none of that. All I'm using is the plastic. So in my opinion though, when they do come out with that one kit that's $450 for just the plastic, not made, that is actually a good deal. Because I can buy all that other stuff at Joann's or Home Depot or some of the other stores I go to for the snaps for a lot less. Now, screen accurate, you can't beat the RS. It's a beautiful kit, especially once you put it together with all the stuff that they add onto it. Because you're going to spend a lot of money on boots and the proper belt. And actually, their belt is a little bit better than the belt that I usually get to replace this belt. Their belt's a lot more accurate. So for accuracy's sakes, you cannot beat RS, hands down. They are the best. Price-wise, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's still, both kits are good, don't get me wrong. They're both very similar, we noticed. Just looking at the pieces, most of the pieces are so similar, other than the sharpness of the details. And then the RS is a little bit shinier, but you can still polish both of them up, and they can both be very shiny. You're going to stick out just a little bit with the RS compared to ATA or Anovos. The color is just a little bit different, but the detail is so much better than most of the other armors. But now that Anovos is out, the detail is just the same, if not just a little bit better. Some people don't really like that, some people do. In my opinion, I like Anovos. I like them both, price-wise, and I build a lot of kits. I would probably go with the Anovos. Plus, you're spending a lot of money getting it shipped over. This Anovos kit is going back to the owner. I actually do have another kit to the side over here that I will be making. I'll be making them both side by side. And then that way, once I trim them down to where all the flashing and everything is done, I can kind of look at it and maybe discuss a little bit during the build how much more similar some of the pieces are. But I'll be building this one, and then I'll be building the other one, but not this one. So I'll be making future videos of that build, and those two builds. Thank you.